All right, it is a Christmas miracle. It took me almost 2 hours to get my computer to start working again, and I finally got it to work. So while it's still functional, let's try and get a video going. Forgive me if I don't sound the happiest in the world right now, but that was one of the more aggravating things of the day so far. I like to use that quote from The Simpsons. Oh, it's my worst day ever. It's your worst day ever so far. So, with that being said, let me put on the video camera. I'm going to do an unboxing first because I have what I consider a sketchy kind of comic because the box looks a little crushed. And it is a graded book, so I'm hoping it is not damaged. But I guess we'll find out. And then I'll show you the 4 comics I will be sending out to get graded. And I, again, want to apologize for the delay, but I welcome anybody that's here and appreciate you having to deal with some of the things I have to go through. But as they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So I should be as strong as the She-Hulk right now. And we're not going there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We have our box, and as you can see, this is how it arrived, and it's moving around inside. So might as well do a live unboxing on this one to see if this is a damaged book. It's not anything of major significance, but I got it for the cheapest price because nobody bid on it. And I guess we'll see how it arrived. Alright, so they just put it in a box with no protection. Well, they put a couple of these little things inside. So I don't hear anything rattling, so that's a good sign. And then I'll go into the 4 books. And, of course, there we go. Hopefully you guys will be able to see me in a second. Give me a second. I'll tell you. That's what makes this fun. Alright, so it froze up for a second. Alright, there are no cracks. So that is good. So it looks like everything's going to be okay. Sorry for the quality, but I'm surprised my computer is even running at this point. So I guess I'll take what I can get. So I apologize if things don't look good. Now you know why I've been selling some of my comics. Alright, so should have it back now. This is the comic I bought. It's a Rick and Morty book. It's Rick and Morty number 25, the blank sketch edition. But it does have a sketch. So as you could see with the sense of humor that I used, it did seem sketchy because the box looked like it was stepped on. But it does have a sketch, and it has been witnessed. So this is a 9.8 CBCS with white pages, witnessed signature, and with sketch, Kyle Starks, who is the artist on this book. So I thought that was pretty cool. Nobody bid on it. So I paid with shipping and handling and the wonderful eBay taxes. I spent $90.01 on it. It was like $75, but then when you add the shipping and then you add the taxes, it came out to basically 1 penny over $90. But even still, for a 9.8 with a witness sketch by the artist and signature, of course, I thought for 90 bucks, hey, not a bad deal. So let me know what you think about that. So I'm going to put that up here for now. And let's get into the 4 books that I am sending in this month to get graded. Of course, this is technically sponsored by PGX. And the reason I say technically is I do not have any contracts with them. I do not get paid to do this. So, basically, you guys should know the deal, but in case there's anybody new, I messaged all 3 major grading companies. PGX was the only one to respond, and the deal we made was I can get 4 of my books graded each and every month. I've been doing this now going on 5 years. They allow me to get them pressed, dry cleaned, and with sometimes signature verification if it needs it, and get graded with the greatest notes for free. Of course, I pay for shipping and everything. And I want to make sure I make a deal for you guys. So if you look in the link of this description of this video or any video, if you send 10 or more books and try PGX, you will not be waiting 9 months for your books. They have in-house pressings and dry cleanings. They do signature verifications. If you send 10 books or more to PGX and use the code WeLoveComics Free Press, you can get one of them pressed for free. Also, like I was saying about the grader's notes, that was my idea, and Daniel Patterson was nice enough to listen to my idea. So if you want to add grader's notes to the back of your slabs, like this, for example, you can use, it's $5 per slab, and just use the code WeLoveComics, grader's notes, and they will add them to the back. I like it. You don't have to do it, of course. You can get it for free by emailing them, and they will email you the grading notes for free. But I do like them on there, so this way, if you're ever selling a book, people know what is wrong with the book, because especially when a lot of the damage of a comic may be inside the book, if it's sealed up, you're not going to be able to tell. So go check out the link in the description, those discount codes. There's other links and stuff like that in there, so check it out. But let's get into the 4 comics I'm going to be getting sent to be graded. Now, this book somebody offered to buy from me. I didn't get their email for a couple of days later. I responded to them. They said they were going to do it, but I haven't heard back from them. So I'm just going to get this book graded. So unless the person contacts me before tomorrow morning, I'm just going to send this book to get graded and see what we get out of it. I gave them a couple of days before I made this decision, so sometimes people that change their mind, or they're too busy, or something happens. You know, that's life. There's nothing you can do about it. But this is Daredevil number 7. This is the first appearance of the red costume for Daredevil. He still has the double D on his chest at that time. I'm sure you know, and I'll show you right here. This was one of the books I had in my auction that did not sell. But Daredevil originally had a yellow suit, which I can understand and see why they changed. So Daredevil number 7 is definitely a significant book. I do not remember what I paid for this one, unfortunately, because this was one of the books I was selling at my flea market a couple years back. So I crossed out what I paid for it, so I do not remember. But I'm sure I paid a cheaper price for this. It's a lower grade book. I would say about a 3.0 to a 4.0 range. The major, if you want to call it major, is there's a piece that ripped out there. It's only the cover. It doesn't affect any other pages. And of course, there's some spine wear. That's normal for a Silver Age book. It means people read it. There is an indent along the spine, but a pressing will definitely help that out. So when I make my predictions of grades, it's based on what I think it will be after pressing and dry cleaning. So I think a 3.0 to a 4.0 off-white to white pages for this book is not out of the realm of possibility, but we'll find out in about a month and a half when I get it back. All right, next up, I sent one of these last month, still waiting for those to come back, but I didn't realize I had a second one, so I'm going to get that one graded as well. So this was the same, well, not the same book, but one of the ones I sent in last month. This is Tales to Astonish number 44. The new Ant-Man and the Wasp movie will be coming out soon. Hopefully the movies will be better than the TV shows. I canceled my Disney Plus subscription. As long as they're doing what they're doing these days, I will not give them my money. I've only watched reviews for the She-Hulk. I've seen a lot of clips from it, and I'm very glad I'm not wasting my time watching it. Whether you like it or not, that's up to you. I'm not here to tell you how to think. I just don't like what Disney is doing. It is clear at this point they don't care about losing money on stuff and aggravating fans. They're there for an agenda, which is disappointing. But, you know, it only works if people support them with their money. So I'm hoping, you know, fingers crossed, that the movies will do a little better. But, of course, you know, the main character, I'm sure, in the Ant-Man movie will be the Wasp. So I figure I might as well take advantage of the book that I bought years ago before all this stuff was really coming out. But Tales to Astonish 44 is the first appearance of the Wasp. I have no connection to this character or this book, so I'm sure when I get it graded, I am going to be selling both of them. I just want to get rid of these things, and hopefully it'll be in the hands of somebody who appreciates it. One of the things I say all the time about selling or trading comics is if you buy books that you don't have that connection with, it's easier to sell them. So I have no connection with this character. Hey, more power to you if you love them. I'm not here to judge. But I paid $269 for this book. I definitely think that's a pretty decent deal for that. Again, I'm going to say around a 3.0 to a 4.0 off-white to white pages. A pressing will definitely help this book. It's got a couple of creases here and there. There's some dirt, so dry cleaning should help that. But nothing major. Staples are intact and everything. Cover looks great. Because like I always say, if I'm going to get a book that has some damage in it, I'd prefer it to be along the edge of the spine, because you can't really see that. And especially if you get a book graded, it's going to make it more difficult to even see it. So, to me, I mean, it always depends on the price I pay for books, what I'm willing to accept. Because like I've said many times, low grade is better than no grade. And if you can't afford a mid or higher grade, even if you have a 0.5, you still own it. So, don't let some of the people that have to have 9.8s for everything scare you or intimidate you from getting a comic because it is not to their standards. Don't worry about anybody else's standards. Go by what makes you happy. Because, I mean, especially in this day and age, if you spend your whole life trying to please everybody else, they're never going to be pleased and you're never going to be pleased. So, take care of your own happiness and do what you think works for you. And don't worry about anybody else's opinion, because remember, that's all it is. It's their opinion. Even if it's right for them, and even if it's right for every other person on this planet, it doesn't mean it's right for you. So, please, do what's right for you, and you'll always be happy. Haters are gonna hate. Alright, next up, we got a Golden Age comic. I haven't sent in a Golden Age comic in a while. This one I think is very important. This is Action Comics number 27. Now, CGC got this wrong. CGC says that Action Comics 28 is the first cover appearance of Lois Lane. Now, if you look inside this book, which I've shown a video probably a year or two ago, I opened this book. That is Lois Lane, and you can see she's on the cover. This is issue number 27 from 1940, which is one issue before 28. Now, they don't name her here, but if you look inside, the girl called Lois Lane is wearing the exact same dress and has the exact same hairstyle and is the exact same character. So, CGC, that named number 28 as the first cover appearance of Lois Lane, is flat out wrong. So I want to get this book graded. Now, I didn't pay the price that somebody was trying to sell this for. I don't know if you could see that, but they were trying to sell it for $450. I bought this a couple of years ago. I only paid $183.51 for this book. To me, this is a no-brainer that this is the first cover appearance of Lois Lane. I wish it was the first appearance, but you take what you can get. Now, this is a lower grade book. It's got a tear with tape on it. It's got dirt. I mean, like from a book from the 1940s. Back then people read them. They weren't collecting them, to put in Mylars and backing boards and storing them for 50 years. People read them. And a lot of people threw them out. That's why it's so much harder to get Golden Age books. But it has tape all along the spine, but it is complete. I'm going to predict about a 1.8 to a 2.5. Somebody wrote in a letter S. At least I believe that's an S. Or it's a number 8, I don't know. But I think this book, even in the lower grade, because of the significance, to me it's worth getting slabbed. And if anything, it protects it and keeps it from getting damaged even further. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is the first cover appearance of Lois Lane, not Action Comics 28. So I'm looking forward to that one graded. Now this one. This has an interesting story. This is Batman number 59. Now, when I originally got this book, I paid $600 for the book. Got it, and found out that this book had 3 staples, which was not mentioned, and the photos, basically they made the photo angle so you could not tell there were 3 staples in it. So when I contacted the person, they said they didn't know, which I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, this was a couple years ago. They gave me a partial refund. So it came out to $354, and that's after I already got it graded. Now, I got it graded. The cover's detached, tape along the full interior and spine, which is fine. But this is the first appearance of Deadshot. This is Batman number 59 from 1950, creamed off-white pages. It was graded as a 3.0. Now, it does have some amateur slight restoration. Now, this is what I'm going to do, because I found the restoration right here, right above that little tear. That tiny little bit above it, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's about the size of a fingernail, or half a fingernail. It's red magic marker. Also, this section, this small little section right here, is also in red marker. So I'm going to crack this open, and I'm just going to tear off those tiny little pieces, which should still keep it a 3.0, because it's not majorly increasing the damage of the book. It's just removing the 2 spaces where they just drew in red marker. So that's going to turn this... Now, even if it lowers to a 2.5, a 2.5 unrestored is better than a 3.0 restored. But I really think because it's a minor amount that's being lowered, it's taken off, it still should qualify for a 3.0, but I'm going to say between 2.5 and 3.0 just in case. But it will be unrestored. So sometimes look for restored books. Look for amateur restoration when it comes to, especially when it says minor color touch on the front cover. Because sometimes that's what people did. They took a little magic marker and they just filled in a little spot. So they just did it in this one spot that's probably an inch up and down and a quarter of an inch wide. The other one's about 2 inches on a diagonal. It's about that much right there, but going on a triangle angle. So it doesn't need a lot removed. So for me, it's a no-brainer to get those 2 little pieces, just literally just rip them off. I mean, you don't want to cut it. You just want to take your finger and just rip that part off, and it no longer has restoration. So to me, I don't mind taking those little tiny pieces off to improve the comic, because it's just something that somebody changed with a little scribbling of some magic marker. So if they did it all over half the book or anything, I wouldn't have wasted my time touching it. But those 2 little slivers, I have no problem removing that, and I will now have an unrestored first appearance of Batman number 59 for $354. Probably another $5 or $6 that I'll be adding to it, because paying the shipping to get the book there and back with the 4 books divided by 4. But this has a Bob Kane cover. It has Bob Kane art. So this book is very significant. Now, if you know anything about Deadshot, he's basically, because I remember looking at this before I got it graded, Deadshot is a magician in this book. He's not the Deadshot we know of today's modern version. So, but it is the same character. I guess he changed over time, but he wears like a magic top hat, has the whole tuxedo kind of thing. It's quite interesting. And he had a regular gun. But that is still the original Deadshot. So for me to crack this open, it is worth it. Now, I know some people wouldn't do it, but like I said before, I don't base things on what other people would or would not do. I base it on what I do. That's why I own it. The beautiful thing is, when you own your book, you could do whatever you want to them. There's always consequences for things, and like I said, I could take the chance of lowering the grade, but to me, I don't believe it's going to lower. I think it will still remain a 3.0, but even if it goes down to a 2.5, unrestored, I'm very happy with that. Alright, so those are the books. Let me know what you think. I apologize again for the delay. Out of the 16 people, 7 people hit the like button. So almost half of you did that. So thank you so much for that. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you would do, especially for the price I paid for that book. I mean, to have a Golden Age first appearance of not a major Batman villain, but he's known. I think, to me, it's a no-brainer to do it. But I'd love to hear what you think. I always value your opinions. And anybody kind enough to hit the thumbs up button, I always appreciate it. So thank you for sticking around. And hopefully I will not have this problem again. And I will see you next video. So don't forget, guys, it is not you. It is not I. It is We Love Comics. I'm going to go before this thing shuts down.